occurred earlier this afternoon here in Walton
This
County.
is Walton County talking about this
I want to introduce a few
afternoon
of our
shark
response
attack.
partners that
Let's
are here
listen in.
with us this afternoon, a few of which will be speaking before I run into details of what actually occurred. First, to my left, Sheriff Mike Atkinson, Chairman of our Board of County Commissioners, Tony Anderson, Commissioner Danny Glidewell, and Stan Sunday, our County Administrator. As I said, we experienced two separate incidents earlier this afternoon in relative proximity to one another, about 4 miles apart, within about an hour and a half of each other. The first incident came in at about 1:20 this afternoon in the area of Founders Lane in Watersound Beach. We had a 45-year-old female patient, was reportedly swimming just past the first sandbar with her husband. She received significant trauma to the midsection and pelvic area, as well as amputation of her left lower arm. Lifeguards and deputies immediately responded, initiating care on the beach, transferred care over to our firefighter paramedics, where she was treated and transported to the Seagrove Fire Station, where they liaised with Walton Air, and that asset transported her to HCA Fort Walton Beach Medical Center, and where she was in critical condition. The second incident was received at 2:56 p.m. at Sandy Shores Court, area of Seacrest Beach. So again, that's about 4 miles just to the east of the first location. There were two victims in this incident. Both victims were female, between the ages of 15 to 17 years of age. I'm told they were both with a group of friends just inside the first sandbar, so very similar locations as far as proximity to the shoreline and about waist-deep water. Victim one received significant injuries to one upper and one lower extremity, both requiring the application of tourniquets. This victim was transported in critical condition via Okaloosa Med Flight to Ascension Sacred Heart Pensacola, also a trauma center. Victim number two received what's been described as flesh wounds to the right lower extremity or her foot. That victim was transported by fire district personnel to Ascension Bay Medical Center, where she's reportedly in stable condition. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sheriff Mike Atkinson, and then I'll answer any questions at the end.
Good afternoon. Just a couple of things I want to point out. I think one of the things that's important in this type of situation is to understand the continuity of care, and that's the seamless operation between the folks at South Walton Fire District, the deputies at Walton County Sheriff's Office, and Walton Air Rescue. I think everybody did their role professionally, and I think that these two ladies have a fighting chance because of that professionalism and the way that we interact and liaise together. I also would be remiss if I did not mention that particularly at the Founders Lane scene, there were citizens there. Some had medical training and personnel. One may have been, at least two were nurses, one a possible anesthesiologist. Those folks immediately jumped in and started rendering care and help as the deputy and South Walton crew basically arrived simultaneously and started rendering really life-saving aid at this point. The other thing is, I think Chief Crawford and I discussed, and the decision was made to close beaches to the swimming, close water to swimming for a couple of mile radius around these attacks. Quite frankly, the second set of attacks happened prior to us being able to even get that enacted. But that was our methodology at that point, was to go ahead and move forward. We wanted to make sure what the incident was. Since that time, we've reached out to experts at Moat Marine, which is out of Sarasota, Florida, Dr. Damian Chapman. We're working to be in contact with him to see if there's something anomalous in this. We don't think there is, but we certainly want to be diligent in what we do. We know that we share the water with sharks. We understand that as tragic as this is, there are always sharks in these waters. We have to be careful. We have to be cognizant of that. This is, Chief, you're going to need to correct me on this. There was a previous shark incident that was a fatality in 2005, and one, I believe, in 2021 that was not a fatality. Am I saying that correctly? Yes, so we've got, that was about 16 years between the first two instances, and then approximately 3 since this incident as well. And at this point, I will turn it over to Commissioner Anderson, or excuse me, Mr. Chair, if you want to address anything.
Yes, this is a tragic day for us and the victims and their families. I appreciate the Chief Crawford and Sheriff Atkinson's fastly handling this situation. It's when something like this happens, we have to jump on it immediately, and these two gentlemen did, and their staff. And having worked with both departments for several years, they're the best of the best. And I appreciate all they've done in this. We as a county If the chief and the sheriff says we need to close the water, then the water is closed. That's their judgment call, and we back their judgment call 100%. It's a busy time of year for us. We hope that the best for these victims and their families. I pray for them, and I just have nothing else to say unless you have any questions.
So that's kind of a synopsis of what happened this afternoon. Clearly a devastating set of injuries for a couple young victims, as well as the first victim from the first bite. I think I would close with, before answering questions, that these types of incidents, while we've had some of those here along our history, they're highly unusual, and it's extremely unusual for two to happen in the same afternoon within 4 miles of one another. As the sheriff mentioned, we're reaching out to speak to subject matter experts as to what may be causing that. That it's the Gulf temperatures, the steering current, whatever that is. But the point of this afternoon is just to remind everybody to be vigilant out there. We have a lot of folks out there keeping their eyes on the marine life, if you will, to make sure that it's safe, and we'll continue to do that, and working together in the partners that we have with one another. So with that, I'll ask if there's any questions.
Chief Crawford, explain for everybody what the process is when something like this happens and why it is so difficult to quickly enact double red flags. You've got a large stretch of beach, only so many personnel, and a lot of personnel dealing with this particular incident. Talk about that process and why people may not see that change immediately.
Absolutely, that's a great question. So there's 26 miles of beaches in Walton County. Traversing that 26 miles and physically changing the flags takes some time. It usually takes about an hour to an hour and a half to do that, to effectively do that. Typically, when we're going to double red flags, obviously that's based on surf conditions. So in the midst of that, we're continuing to try to educate people, keep them out of the water, and sometimes, unfortunately, we have to rescue people from themselves when they don't comply with that. But that being said, it does take some time to traverse that distance and physically change those flags. And working together, communicating with one another to make sure that we're doing that effective communication in a timely way, and that we're all kind of speaking with one voice is critical.
And I know a big question that people are throwing around right now is any clue what kind of sharks there are from witnesses, or is that too soon to really know?
Yes, ma'am. I don't have any information on the type of shark, not this time.
And pragmatically, it would be almost impossible for us to be able to say with any level of expertise. We know that there are several sharks indigenous to the waters here that are capable of administering this type of bite. It's an extremely severe bite on both the first victim and the second victim. So I don't even know that it matters at this point, quite frankly. I mean, obviously this time of year bait fish are running. We know that between the sandbars. That's something we're aware of. Doesn't mean that's the cause. We're going to wait and see if we get some input from other experts, but that is certainly a consideration for us as well, too.
Are we working with Bay County? Have we been in communication with them on what the travel of these incidents look like?
Sure. I had the opportunity to speak with Sheriff Ford a little while ago, and we just kind of discussed what, if any, steps Bay County needed to take as well, and they are certainly looking into that. And as I said, they've been able to help put Chief Crawford and I in contact with some experts just to make sure that we're not missing something. I mean, it is rare, exceedingly rare to have 3 victims in one day. We understand that, but we need to make sure that we're also using good judgment, very prudent. This is not something where you shut beaches down for a week because this happened. Because quite frankly, next week you can be back in the water and no incidents for 30 years. And that's just the reality of where we're at with this.
Chief Crawford, can you talk to the efforts of lifeguards today? This is incredibly unusual. They're incredibly skilled at entering the water, rescuing victims in distress with rip currents, right? That's the message we preach consistently. Discuss how they handled the response today from a beach safety perspective. Some of these kids are as young as 18, 19 years
Absolutely.
old, and they contributed greatly.
Absolutely. So, our deployment model works as a force multiplier out there with our law enforcement partners, our deputies, our code compliance partners, the sheriff's office, the lifeguards, the men and women that patrol our beaches out there to try to keep people safe from rips and so forth. And so the response this afternoon primarily was initiated by the deputies and our lifeguards. Most of our lifeguards are also trained as EMTs as well as most of the deputies. So they're immediately able to start rendering that care out there upon arrival until our paramedics can arrive on scene and provide that advanced life support. So again, it's a force multiplier, and kudos to our young men and women out there. If you think about the demographic of our lifeguards, many of which are pretty young, as you just mentioned, it's a big deal out there. And not only are you risking your life to go pull somebody else out, but at that young age, that impressionable age, you're faced with, dealing with these rather traumatic injuries that many folks have not been exposed to. So, kudos to the job that all those folks did out there today. And great question, though.
I know it may be a bit early to tell with this incident, everything's still kind of happening and you also processing it, but do you think there's anything that maybe your staff has learned from today that you'll do any additional training on or anything like that to make sure you are prepared for instances like this?
So I would say that I feel that we're pretty prepared for these types of incidents, from a medical response standpoint, but we are always going to do after actions after any major incident to see how we can get better, and again, working collaboratively with our partners to see how we can, from a performance improvement standpoint. But no, we're well prepared for these types of incidents.
You touched on it earlier, but the first incident taking place where it did and having such an extensive boardwalk proved to provide some even more critical obstacles. How well did your team navigate that? It was pretty impressive to see that all happen. You're talking from the beach to the ambulance quite a ways to get the patient.
Yeah, so that's always challenging here. Everybody knows we have the challenges with public and private property and washouts from dune lakes, and so just traversing up and down the beach, east and west, depending on where the incident occurs, can be very challenging sometimes. But to your point, very effective today as far as extracting the patient off the beach, providing that life-saving care. It can be very geographic, right, depending on where it is, but that area along the eastern portion of our county can be very challenging with access to the beach. So